Well, it's me again, and this is my podcast and my world, where I take you along on an adventure where we get to explore everything and anything that goes on in my mind. Oh boy, is it random, is it crazy, it's nuts, it's all over the place. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's have a good time. Well, unlike yesterday. Sorry about that. I got a little going there, didn't I? Hope I didn't scare anybody off yesterday. So, first off, I just want to say welcome. Today is January 3rd, 2018, and it is currently 6:57 in the morning. And I am off to work. Just kind of heading on out. It smells pretty bad today. Okay. Hold on one second here. Walk through the house. Don't want to wake them up. Okay, so yeah, I leave pretty early in the morning. Kinda. My family don't wake up until about 7:30, 8 o'clock, so I can get a little extra bit of beauty sleep if they can. So like I was saying yesterday, I was getting going there. So I hope I didn't offend anybody or anything, but you know what? It is what it is. It's how I feel. So, but today I want to talk about something a little bit less controversial, hopefully. Today I want to talk about smartphones. But hold on a minute. I you know what? Before we dive into this subject, I gotta get in the car here and get it warmed up. I have got to get warmed up. I'm cold already. Just stepped outside and I'm freezing. Whew. So, oh man, it is supposed to be an absolutely amazing day today, supposedly. Sun's supposed to be shining. The ice is supposed to do some melting today. I don't see it happening. Sorry. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I really don't see it happening. And so, okay, so I'm trying something a little bit different today too. I've tried this with my old phone, and I don't know how it turned out, but I'm going to try it with this one. I'm recording this on my phone, my smartphone, the thing we're going to talk about. But I'm recording it in my pocket today, and hopefully by the end of the week, if everything shows up like it's supposed to, I might be able to record the audio from my new earbuds. Earbuds, yeah, get it. Oh, I think I just gave away my little thing here. So I bought a phone. Let's see, I bought a phone now just a little over 2 years ago. I can back up even more than that, I guess. About 4 years ago, we bought brand new smartphones, and this was before the Samsung really became big and popular. But we bought LG. I think I want to call it. It was an LG Droid, I think is what it was called. And then my wife had, I think that's what it was. It was an LG 3G. That's what it was. I bought an LG 3G, and I liked it because it had a big screen on it. And we bought those at Costco because they were having a buy the LG 3G and get an LG M for free, which was considerably smaller. And so I went ahead and I bought the LG, and I used that, and then I gave my wife the LG M, and they were acceptable. They were not the best. I was not over impressed. They weren't, like I said, they just weren't the best. Started having problems very early on with them. My wife was having memory problems with it. It would just randomly lose photos or videos, or an app would all of a sudden no longer be there. I mean, it was just really bizarre things would happen with her phone. And it was always telling her that she was out of space memory. And we, get into it and start looking at it, and no, she had plenty of memory, plenty of SD card space, plenty of onboard memory. There was plenty. Oh, okay, I'll go. Then you don't want to stop. Now I'm gonna get yelled at. Okay. So plenty of onboard memory, and that kind of thing. And so it just kept telling her over and over again, oh, well, there's something wrong, there's not enough memory, there's something wrong. And so and then mine, all of a sudden one day, randomly, completely random, the screen stopped working. And I'm like, what the heck? I would touch the screen, but it didn't recognize that I was touching it. I couldn't scroll, I couldn't do anything. It's like all of a sudden the screen just became disconnected from the phone. It was really weird. So I took those in, and I did an upgrade. And this time I said, you know what? My wife and I are going to have the same identical phone. We're gonna have two identical phones, and the S6 just came out, and I'm looking at the S6. Literally just came out like a week beforehand, and I'm looking at the S6, and I'm like, that's really kind of nice. And I'm looking at the S5 because that was the previous one, and I couldn't really see a difference between them, other than, for me, anyways, other than the camera had a different lens on it, but it was the same megapixel, pretty much same everything. It was basically the same exact phone, just with a couple of minor tweaks. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's the point in spending an extra $150 for the S6 when I could get the S5 a little bit cheaper, and it's going to do the same thing for me? Well, I decided to go ahead and stick with the S5. So we bought two brand new S5s and got cases for them and all that kind of stuff, and loved them. Matter of fact, we still have them. They're not turned on. We don't use them. We still have them. But the problems we were having with the S5 was we had those for 2 years, but that was the cords, when you go to charge them. The S5 had a very strange cord. It was a wider cord. It had like this, basically like a regular one, but it was a little wider, and it had connection problems. So many times of putting a cord in a plug and taking it out, in and out. After a while, it loosens up and it doesn't want to sit in there right. And that became the problem. In order to charge your phone, it had to be sitting at a certain angle and all this crud. It was horrible. It was a pain in the rear end. So we then decided, okay, fine. 2 years later, we're fine. We're gonna call this quits. My phone at 30% was shutting itself off. I mean, it just got to the point where it was getting ridiculous. So we said, all right, fine. We're just going to go ahead and just let it all go and go get new phones. And it took me about 4 months of research before I settled on a phone that I wanted. And I was looking at everything. And the two big selling points for me, but the biggest selling point for me was wireless charging. It was the deal breaker. Really, it had to have wireless charging. I was so sick and tired of having to find a cord, plug a cord into it, set my phone a certain way in order for it to charge, that I said, screw this crap, we're doing wireless charging. Hold on a second, I gotta get my sip of coffee. Man, I love me coffee. Oh, a little hazelnut coffee creamer this morning with just a splash of caramel. So, yeah, wireless charging was it. I was like, dude, I want the most state-of-the-art phone, the newest thing on the market. And Samsung came out first with their S8, and I'm looking at the S8, and I'm like, okay, I like the technology. I like, you know, I'm a Galaxy guy. I like it. You know, I mean, like I like Android. I love this product, but I'm looking at the phone and I'm thinking, wow, why so freaking ugly? I kind of was thinking about doing the 6 at one point in time, also because I think they had the Edge. That's when they very first started the Edge. But I see all these people with the Edge, and they're ugly. I'm sorry. I watched this YouTube video. Was it yesterday? I guess it was yesterday, and it was totally on accident. I was watching a thing about AirPods or whatever, doing some research there, and then I watched this YouTube video. It just popped up about the S8 and the Edge, and the guy on there says, this was the reason I bought the phone, is because the Edge is amazing. And I'm just like, oh God, really? Okay, I'm a movie guy, all right? I like to watch movies, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I like watching videos on my phone. It's more convenient for me to watch stuff on my phone, and so the problem with the Edge is the picture kind of wraps around the edge a little bit, and so it distorts it. And not only that, but it appears also that the image is narrower on the S8 Edge. And so I'm just like, no. That and the cases, they fit kind of funny. They're real thin on the edges. I don't know. I don't like them. I think they're ugly. I think the design is just gross. Sorry, I just don't like the Edge. I don't like any of it. I think it needs to be flat all the way across and have a bevel on it. You know, all the way around. A bevel, not a bevel. A bezel, not a bevel. It needs to have a bezel on it. It needs to be flat all the way around. It needs to, that way when you put a case on it, there's no weird little dip on the edge where the case tries to hold on to it, or I think it feels better in your hand to have it more square. But it's because that's what I'm used to. I like the brick. That's what I like. So we're all entitled to our own thing. Okay. So wireless charging, the S8 has that. The 7 has that. I believe the 6. I think the 6 had it as well. I think. Don't quote me on that one. I don't remember exactly. I didn't do a whole lot of research on the 6 because I just wasn't going there. So it came down to, for the S8, it came down, well, it has wireless charging, but it's butt freaking ugly. Excuse me. And then the Apple iPhone had their release party, and I was watching it live on YouTube, and watching, I'm just curious about the iPhone 8, and I'm just really kind of curious, see how what's going to look like, what's it doing, la 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 la. Basically, it is the iPhone 7, but with a few minor changes, like the camera and a bunch of other little things. Now, I've never used an iPhone before, so the platform, all of it is new to me. And so I was like, okay, well, in order for me to learn how this operates and works, I better grab me an iPod for like $100. And that's what I have. I have a first generation iPod. And so I started playing with it and learning how to use it. Because the iOS is pretty much the same. It hasn't really done a whole lot of changing. Sorry, coffee. And so I'm like, okay, I can live with it. I'm not 100% happy with it. I don't really care for the iOS. I just, the platform is just weird. I wish it had a little more like the Droid, but it is what it is. And the longer I use it, the better I get at it. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I like the 10. The 10 sounded amazing. I was like, oh wow, the 10 sounds so cool. But for that extra couple of $100, really the only difference you get is some emoji thing where you're like an animal head or whatever, and it basically mimics your face, basically, is what happens. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing you get different. The S8 Plus, which also came out at the same time, pretty much has the same camera quality and function and everything. It just doesn't have the stupid face recognition software thing, which is not a big deal to me. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm totally content with not having face recognition. It's fine. It doesn't, the technology I don't think is quite there yet anyways, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm like, okay, fine, that's great. It works. And then I get it in my hand. The store, they release it, the store gets them, and I'm like, all right, I'm going down to the store and I'm going to go look at these things, because I don't buy anything until I put it in my hand and I play with it a little bit. And I hated with a passion the iPhone 10. Hate it. It is one of the most trashiest piece of garbages I've ever seen. Now, let me back up so I don't get completely yelled at here. The quality of the construction is awesome, okay? The design is where they're flawed, in my opinion. The screen, they've changed it so much. There's no longer a spot for them to put how much power the battery has, and the whole top section of the monitor is cut out to allow for the speaker and the camera and all that kind of stuff, and it just gives this real funny look. So you're sitting there watching a video or a movie or something, and you got this big notch-like thing on one end of it that cuts into your viewing screen, and it all, because the phone is so elongated, the screen is so elongated. I swear to God, the ratio must be off, because it appears also that it's missing something from the top and the bottom of your movie. It just looks like it's cutting off part of the picture to make it fit. So I'm like, no, we're good. I mean, within a matter of seconds of picking it up and noticing that is what was, and I thought, okay, well, maybe when I go to play a video, that part will turn off and it will reset itself to a smaller screen so that you can see properly, so you can see the whole picture. They didn't do that. So I immediately put it down. I'm like, all right, I don't like the S8 and I don't like the iPhone 10. I'm done, dude. I'm like, this is so bullcrap. There's not a decent phone on the market right now. What the hell? And then I noticed that they have the 8 Plus sitting there and the 8. And so I'm like, all right. So I grabbed the 8 Plus, and it's got, first off, it's got the bezel all the way around. It's flat. It's a flat phone. Don't like the fact that it's glass on the back as well, but in order to have wireless charging, apparently you have to have a glass back. So, okay, I can live with that. Put a case over it. No big deal. I can protect it. And then, so I'm like, all right, fine. But I can see the picture, the whole picture. And it's a nice looking phone. It's got all the features and everything of the 10 as far as the camera is concerned, which is state of the art in my opinion. It's one of the best. I love the portrait. It's a little choppy sometimes, but I love the portrait thing where you can make a black background behind the person. It cuts everybody but the person out. Excuse me. A couple times I've yawned already today. But I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the phone. Fell in love with it. So I said, all right, well, I'm not an iPhone person, but let's see if this converts me. Well, I've been using it now. Let's see, I've been using it now 2 months, I think. I think it's been about 2 months or a month and a half. And I love the phone. Absolutely love it. Here's my downsides. Okay? The downside of the phone is being an Apple product, I'm limited to my applications that I can, download or get. I'm limited. It's frustrating because there are a couple of times now, like with Vudu, I'll go buy a brand new movie and I can't redeem my movie without going to the website. There's no app for redeeming through iPhone. And then so that's been a frustration, is not getting the proper apps I want or whatever. The other frustration I have with it is not its fault. It's not an Android. I like the Android platform, but that's okay. I'm learning. I'm dealing with it. Am I in love? That's the question, right? Are you in love with this phone? The answer to that is, I'm in love with the phone. I'm not in love with the operating system. If I could take this phone and put an Android operating system on it and it would work just fine, I would do it, and I would do it in a heartbeat. Like I said, I love the phone. The phone feels good. It's a good size. I don't have any problems with the keypad. The voice to text works. I'm getting used to Siri. She's a cocky little bitch, but it's okay. She's kind of lazy and doesn't want to do everything I want her to do, but that's all right. But it's acceptable. I can live with it. And yeah, so accessories that I got for the phone include the Android Watch, or not Android Watch, the iPhone Watch Series 3 that has the ability to make phone calls and stuff from the watch. And I will talk to you later about that another time and tell you more about how I feel about that phone. I'm also going to talk to you a little bit later about the AirPods. I ordered AirPods yesterday. Been wanting to try something new. The price is not bad. And so I ordered those, and I'm gonna try those on and use them for a while, and then I'll give you a review on the watch and the earphones, and let you know what I think about the both of them, the set of them, the pair. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. A little bit of phone shopping that's been going on, and I think I got the one that's perfect for right now. But it's clearly not the one that I'm completely happy with. I'm hoping when the Galaxy S9 comes out, watch them jump straight to call it a Galaxy S10. I bet they would. But when the Galaxy S9 comes out, I think I'm hoping that they release it without the rounded edges. I don't like the infinity screen, so if they release it without the infinity screen, I'll be really happy, and I might actually buy one and switch then. But until then, I'm sticking with the Apple product because they've made a better product in my opinion. So, all right, well, I'm here at the wonderful place we call work. So I hope you all have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. a little bit longer podcast today, but hopefully I gave you a bunch of information. Maybe some of it's useful. My life experience, maybe hopefully a little bit of it can help you out. So, all right, well, I'm going to end it here. So until then, y'all have, like I said, y'all have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. And, well, bye for now.